We are a faith-based organization, so we take no federal or state money. All of our funding comes from individual donations, from churches, from organizations such as yourself, nonprofit grants, and that kind of thing. So, a year and a half ago, April 3rd, it started actually right after the first of the year, year and a half ago, when the fire department came in and they had a complaint that we were over capacity and that there was some unsafe issues happening. We had space heaters plugged in and that kind of thing. So the fire department came in and they did a inspection. And at that time, there was a new fire chief named Brian Doherty and Jeff Miller. The previous fire chief had retired, and so Brian had moved up into the position. And they had inspected us every year, and nothing was ever said to us about anything. But on this particular time, Brian being a new guy, he really thought that that the city would kind of kick in and Action Inc. would kind of kick in to help us if we were forced to close down. So they put a closure on us, and we were told we had to be evacuated by April 3rd. And so on April 3rd, they came and they put locks on the doors, and we were not allowed back into the facility. At that time, it left all of the homeless in our community and the 6 counties that we provide service to without a place, shelter, or without any food. At that time, we were feeding over 130 a day, and we were sleeping about between 46 and 50 a night. Consistently over the summer, we had 9 children in our facility. So it really put a scramble on things. We had known that we had outgrown the facility prior to that, and I had been working with the architect on plans to build a new facility. We were looking for property and that kind of thing. This expedited things very quickly. We, as you guys, many of you know, we went through the zoning board process a couple times and were shot down with different places that we were looking at to buy. And then, of course, as a piece of property would come up and they knew that we were going to put a shelter on it, they would then tell us they weren't interested in selling their property. So through all that, you kind of wonder, where's God at in all of this, with the people that we serve being cold and hungry, or extremely hot in the summertime. But as I look back and I see how God closed doors after doors until we landed on this 610 East Platinum Street, which is a perfect piece of property for us. It's very centrally located, but it's isolated a little bit. It's enough property for us to do everything that we need to do. One problem that we had on 2nd Street is we had no room for any kind of real programming. We did the best that we could with the room that we had. So since Janice has been here in February, we've closed on the property on East Platinum Street. There is a warehouse on that property that we're calling Phase 2 right now, because our priority is to get shelter and food up and running. Our target date for that is October 8th. We've invited contractors to bid the project, and those bids will be turned in on Friday, and we'll choose a contractor, so we should be breaking ground within a couple weeks. The county put an awful lot of conditions on us moving onto the property. For instance, and a lot of it I think is probably everybody has to do when they're doing a new project. We have to put in a new sewer main that is well over $50,000. We have to do all the infrastructure as far as sidewalks and curbs, water retention. We have to be able to collect all that water that runs off North Platinum So we need to do some storm drainage, retention, and those kinds of things. There's extensive infrastructure work that needs to be done. So once that infrastructure work gets done, we've already purchased our units. We bought those over a year ago off the Bakken oil field from a man camp there. We have 2 great units there that are going to come in. They're all already set up. They have commercial kitchens in them. They have individual rooms. They have multiple bathrooms. We have to do very little to them except for clean and spiff them up. They'll be set on the property. Then we'll build porches, walkways. It'll be landscaped. Everything has to be landscaped. Everything has to be bonded and that kind of thing. So that's where we're at with that. We're really hoping to be open by October 8th to feed and shelter people before the weather gets really bad. So a couple things that I want to talk to you about is finances. On this postcard, which many of you have probably seen already, on the back of the postcard it talks about what's going to happen in those portable units and what's going to happen in the warehouse. As I said, the warehouse is phase 2. We're hoping to bid that out shortly after we're up and running with food and shelter. We're going to bid out that warehouse so we can get that done. There's a couple reasons for that. I haven't secured the finances 100% for that portion of the project, and we will be able to bid it get a bid back cheaper because it'll be winter work instead of high priority summertime stuff. So on the back of that, it tells you kind of what's going to happen in those 2 areas. On the front, it tells you how you can donate if you would like to donate to the project. If you send a check in or a donation, please mark it it's for the building fund, so it doesn't go into the general fund. Town Pump has generously given us $200,000 as a matching fund. And this is where I need the community's help. So if I could get you talking it up to anybody that you're talking to about that $200,000 match, we need to meet that match to get that $200,000 from Town Pump and the $200,000 from the community to meet our goal to be able to open the shelter by October 8th. And so we're currently at about $75,000. So it would be a great help with Minnie Mouse to be able to talk that up and us be able to hit that goal for the $200,000. The other thing is that when we expand our services, because we will have room to sleep 56 in these units, and I anticipate feeding a lot more than 130 a day. With Siver Bow Homes being right there, we're more accessible, and with the cuts in the government as far as food stamps and that kind of thing, the amount of people that are living in our community that are not living with enough food is unbelievable. So I'm anticipating on feeding a lot more. What I have in these envelopes that Dave has passed around is an opportunity to become a monthly giving partner with us. And so in that envelope there's a trifold that just talks about the convenience of being a monthly giver and the benefits of it. There's a letter from me, and then there's a envelope to return back if you feel so led to do that. Is there any questions that I can answer about what we do?
Do the monthly donations go toward the 200,000 or the 200,000?
The monthly giving program goes towards our general fund, because with us extending our services, it's going to cost us more to run a facility, and so I'm trying to build our annual fund up.